each of the remaining Christmas Day games, and you could win. Head to NBA.com/pick'em to play for free. 1 of 5 between ESPN and ABC to get this holiday going as Jaylen Brown gets the Celtics on the board.
And I love that Toronto tried to come out in a zone to offset what Brad Stevens was going to draw up, but still great execution by Boston, getting the shot that they want. Great finish by Jaylen Brown,
who picks up the first foul of the game. Raptors have had to mix in a little bit of zone defense, a little bit of press as of late. Dealing with some of the injuries, getting down in games. Nick Nurse has had to reach into the bag of tricks at times. Lob to Ibaka. Good job by Hayward elevating to knock it away. Brown to Walker, hanging. The tip try from Tatum, no, but he's a very good rebounder. That's been an improvement this year. Had it knocked away out of bounds by McCall. That's something you think is maybe one of his best improvements, the fact that he's rebounding so much better.
Well, yeah, because they're an undersized team. They don't have Al Horford in there. They don't have Bain, so the perimeter guys are going to have to rebound at a much higher rate. Him and Jaylen Brown both averaging about 7.
Hayward on the drive draws the OG Anunoby foul.
And a lot of times you got to look at your strengths. Okay, we're not that big,
right?
But our perimeter guys are long and athletic, so you just have to make sure that you're focusing on them, getting on the glass each and every time.
Tatum's already got 3 offensive rebounds here in this opening frame. Tice from the baseline.
And I like that. Tice is going to have to be aggressive. You see in every pick and roll with Kemba, with Jaylen, and with Jason, they're kind of letting him be the free man.
McCall penetrates. Tried to get it to Ibaka, who lost it. Boston in transition. Walker for 3. That's a much-needed bucket, and just like that, it's back down to a 3-point game. First 10 belong to the Raptors. The last 7 belong to the Celtics. Anunoby got bumped by Brown. Good defense. Forced a bad pass. Tatum slips it to Walker, and it's a 1-point game. Three straight turnovers for the Raptors. Anunoby getting past Brown, but missed the layup. Saved it to no one in particular, and the Celtics will have a chance.
And you see this great pressure defense, right? Jason Tatum just in the right spot. Good left-hand pass. And look, I thought he was going to dunk this. He was up high enough. Apparently, he just didn't want to ruin his Christmas Day by missing a dunk.
Are you a little bit sadder that he didn't?
Well, you know what? I had to pull myself back because normally if I was sitting on the bench, I would yell at the little guy to dunk it, and you can't do that on television.
You can't just start yelling.
No, you can't just start yelling at people.
You played in one of the great Christmas Day games that we can remember, 2016. Big 4-point spurt by you. You and LeBron combined for a massive game. You and Kyrie.
Yeah.
The combination of you guys really sealed the deal, I think.
Yeah, I had a big 4 points in that game.
There's Brown on the second chance for Boston. Van Vliet got right in front of Brown, forced the turnover. OG Anunoby back the other way, past the extended arm of Tatum. That snaps the 9-0 Boston run. Tatum on the drive. Lowry knocked it free. Last touch by the Raptors.
And look, there's been a 9-0 run. There's been a 10-0 run. And sometimes teams just need to settle in. And Jaylen Brown being aggressive, but it's just you have too much pressure, too much collapsing of that Toronto Raptor defense.
Tatum, the fading jumper from the foul line. There's going to be an offensive foul, though, called against Tatum as Lowry hit the deck. It looked like Boston was going to be back within 1. Instead, it goes back to Toronto. His first foul. You see Tatum mouthing, really?
Let's see. They're saying the fadeaway.
The leg kick, perhaps? All right, yes. That makes more sense. Yeah. Right at the bottom towards the end of the jump shot. A smooth-looking jumper at that. Walker hit the deck. Van Vliet's free. Around and out. Rebounded by Hayward. Had a 13-game stretch where he was out with a broken left hand. Returned on December the 9th for 3 games, and he's missed the last 3 with a nerve issue in his left foot going back to that horrific injury he had at the beginning of the 2017 season. But Brad Stevens told us today that he believes it's very much manageable. It may not be a non-factor the rest of the year, but it will be manageable, he thinks. Ibaka over Tice.
And that's not a bad shot by Ibaka, but you just think you can get a better shot from OG if he's being guarded by Kemba Walker on the block.
Boy, Patrick McCaw's got great hands. He knocked that free. Lowry for three. Missed it in transition. Toronto, one of the better fast break teams in the NBA. They are tied with the Bucks for the most fast break points per game in the league.
Which is crazy because the Bucks have a one-man fast break.
Fast break in Giannis, who does lead the league, by the way, in fast break points per game. Hayward, nice step back, and he makes it a one-point game. First points for Hayward. Toronto started hot and cold right now. Lowry to Ibaka with the jam. Serge is so well respected around this league. He'll play any role. He's done a good job stepping back into the starting lineup.
And he really is a starter. There's a ton of very good teams in this league that he can start on. I think they like Marc Gasol as a starter and bringing him off the bench, but he still plays starter minutes on most nights.
Walker on the deck over Ibaka. Rebounded by Serge. There's Ibaka again. 17-footer won't go. Rebounded by Hayward. Hayward averaging 17 and a half in his 11 starts so far this year. He's been very productive when he's been healthy, and he's got his second bucket.
And look, he's one of the most well-balanced players. He plays defense, has an extra hustle to him, is very familiar with Brad Stevens. And look, this Boston Celtics team is a very, very balanced team. And if they continue growing, all of these young guys are going to be very, very impressive at the end of the stretch.